On this episode of O'Fallon Matters, learn about several improvements coming to a park near you, see how volunteering in O'Fallon is making a difference, and find out how our dedicated police force uses every tool available to help them solve crimes and protect our city. All this and more next on O'Fallon Matters. Welcome to this episode of O'Fallon Matters. After years of planning, the St. Charles County Veterans Museum is now open. Joe Meyer has all the highlights from this historic opening weekend.
Here in O'Fallon, we've always strived to recognize and honor the sacrifices our servicemen and women have made throughout history. And we're both humbled and excited that our community is now the home of the St. Charles County Veterans Museum. If you're not familiar with the story of the Veterans Museum, it's the conclusion of a long-time dream. This museum was the idea of Ralph Borelli, a World War II veteran. Borelli landed on Utah Beach in Normandy and fought at the Battle of the Bulge with General Patton, and he was with the first troops to liberate Dachau. To make Ralph's dream a reality, a small group of dedicated veterans and patriots worked diligently to create and build St. Charles County's first Veterans Museum. On a magical, breezy day in April, officials gathered for the grand opening of the St. Charles County Veterans Museum. And to kick off the festivities, O'Fallon's Chamber of Commerce held a ribbon cutting.
3, 2, 1, cut!
What a great way to honor Ralph's life commitment to freedom, but also his life commitment to veterans and those who serve. And I'm delighted to be able to be here with all of you today and think about all the people in years to come that will go through this museum and think about the importance of defending freedom and serving others. So thank you all for letting me be here.
After the ribbon cutting, hundreds of guests poured into the museum for a first-hand look at the exhibits and memorabilia.
It's hard for people to imagine, but this has been 6 years in the making. And for 6 years, this has been a very dedicated team that's been working to put this museum together. Today's the day we officially open, and it's exciting for me to see the community that have come in and what they've said, how much they enjoyed it. We've had a few family members that were exhibiting their artifacts come in there, and literally a tear was in their eye when they recognized that some of their family stuff is on display here. That's very gratifying, because that's our job, is to remind people the people that came before from the area, and also remember them and honor them.
Later on in the evening, a special ceremony was held to celebrate opening day. St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman spoke along with special guest speaker Mendel Rosenberg. Mendel was a Holocaust survivor from the Dachau concentration camp, which Ralph Borelli helped to liberate. He spoke about his experiences at Dachau and what we can do to prevent atrocities like the Holocaust. Finally, O'Fallon Mayor Bill Hennessy closed out the evening with an emotional speech dedicated to Ralph Borelli and his family.
The entire Borelli family, thank you for sharing Ralph, St. Charles County, and this country. Ralph said, no one is ever gone as long as someone still has memories of them. Well, with this museum, Ralph, and the veterans of St. Charles County will never be forgotten.
Well, I think it was a great ceremony to have all the dignitaries coming, Senator Blunt and the mayors of the county coming together to recognize the hard work that everybody did to get the museum going, and to recognize my dad for all the stuff that he did for the veterans. To sum up today, it was emotional. All I can say, it was emotional. I wish my dad was here to see it.
Opening weekend continued with reenactors from Upfront Living History portraying the frontline men of World War II.
It's a good event, and we love to just come out, talk to everyone, hear their stories, answer questions about our gear and of the men that fought.
The St. Charles County Veterans Museum Executive Committee would like families to donate their memorabilia in honor of their loved ones. Because no matter when or where a veteran served, their story is important. These experiences have preserved our freedoms and shaped our country. And Ralph's mission will continue by honoring the memories of county veterans who served the United States of America with patriotic valor. If you would like more information on the St. Charles County Veterans Museum, you can visit stcharlescountyveteransmuseum.com or give them a call at 636-400-7698.
I'm so thankful for all of the people that came, and they showed their appreciation of the museum. And that was Ralph's dream, to have a museum to honor all veterans. And the hard-working committee made it come true for him. And I know Ralph is watching up above with a big smile.
It's been a busy couple of years in O'Fallon Parks, and some of our biggest projects in decades are just wrapping up. But the Parks and Recreation Department is not even thinking of slowing down. Brett Figgis sat down with city staff to see what's coming up next for our parks.
Since the earliest days of O'Fallon's history, our city's parks have been at the center of our community. They're where we go to celebrate, to visit nature, to enjoy sports, or to just get outside. And it's never been a better time to be a park lover in O'Fallon, as over the past couple of years, we've wrapped up major additions across the city. The beautiful new O'Day Park recently opened to the south, and we're gearing up for another amazing season at the completely rebuilt Alligators Creek Aquatic Center. You can find incredible works of art scattered throughout the city, and enjoy new events throughout the year. With the conclusion of so many parks projects, you might be wondering, what's next for our parks? Well, we sat down with the people who know our parks best to get the answer.
So where do we go from here? Good question. We haven't stopped. We have several things that are in the making right now. Lake Wetzel in Fort Zumwalt Park is being completely renovated. So if you drive in there, there's probably not any water left in the lake. We will be dredging that lake and reconfiguring it for a better fish habitat. We will be installing a ADA surface around the entire perimeter of Lake Wetzel, and then we'll finish it with overlaying the road in Fort Zumwalt Park. So by October of this year, you'll see a completely new setting out there. And then we're in the process of working with the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board to design a dog park on the northern portion of O'Fallon. Within the next few months, we'll have that laid out, and then we'll start working on the design. So you'll hopefully see that dog park within the next few years here on the north side of town. And then probably one of the most exciting projects that we're just starting to dabble in is taking a look at Westhoff Park. It was built in the 1960s and early 1980s. And the ball fields there are in need of some renovation, so we're looking at how we can reconfigure those, add to the concessions, and just make a better experience for everyone that visits that park. So just stay tuned. We're not done yet, and we will keep moving forward with more new projects and renovations in all of our O'Fallon parks.
Our recreation staff also have big plans for the future, as our new civic facilities allow them to expand their programming in exciting ways.
The exciting part about having the new facilities and the expansions and additions that we've had is gives us the opportunity to roll out some new aerobic classes. We have an adventure camp that we want to do at O'Day. It's kind of an older age group for camps. We're going to do some species identification, and we're going to teach kids how to do some outdoor activities. We've got the expansion at Alligators Creek. We're going to try to do some water walking. We're going to expand our lap swimming. We are even thinking about doing some yoga, some poolside yoga in the mornings or in the evenings. So I think we get some great opportunities to offer some more programming, expand some programming at the new facilities.
Sports Park at the south end of O'Fallon is synonymous with soccer, but the north side of town can expect to see new soccer programs as well.
So we're really excited about Dames Park, having the opportunity to expand soccer into Dames Park. We have a tournament coming up, a 4v4 tournament, along with a skills challenge, and we really are excited about being able to offer this and really expanding that into some fall and maybe next year having some more soccer at Dames.
It's an exciting time for parks in O'Fallon, and we can't wait for our residents to explore everything our parks have to offer. With over 400 acres of parkland, hundreds of classes, programs, festivals, and events throughout the year, there's something to offer for everyone in our community. Looking for something to do? Head over to www.ofallon.mo.us/parksandrec to see what our parks can do for you.
Thanks for that story, Brett, and we'll be looking forward to some of those improvements in the near future. Next in O'Fallon Matters, the mayors of St. Charles County are working together for the betterment of all our citizens. Joe Meyer has more.
Every year, the mayors of St. Charles County unite to fight poverty by raising money for charities located throughout the county. And their main goal is to create an event that will enable the supported organizations to focus on sustainable growth within St. Charles County. The Mayor's Charity Ball relies on the support of our community and the generosity of corporate sponsors. And this year's Charity Ball was a huge success.
It's a great night. There's over 600 people coming for the Mayor's Charity Ball. You know, it's a great night for 4 great charities. But with all the mayors in St. Charles County putting this thing together, we all work together, whether it's for the Mayor's Charity Ball, whether it's to bring a business in here. All the mayors in St. Charles County work together, and it's a great group of folks.
It's very good. It's very promising that it shows we can all work together. Nothing is territorial. This benefits all residents, including the ones that are in need. It benefits all of them.
The night was filled with smiles, dancing, delicious food, and best of all, giving. This year's ball was sold out, and a twist was added to the night's festivities. For the first time ever, there was a special dance performance by each of our mayors. Paired up with dancers from Dance Pizzazz, located in O'Fallon, each mayor in St. Charles County went head-to-head in a Dancing with the Stars contest. Charity Ball attendees were given a chance to vote for their favorite dance of the night. Ottoville Mayor Jim Hennessy and his partner Allie Nichols took first place honors. Not only was the Dancing with the Stars contest a blast, but it also helped raise even more money for the chosen charities. And this year, 4 organizations were chosen. All the proceeds from the 2019 Mayor's Charity Ball went to the Adam Morgan Foundation, Community Living Inc., St. Charles Bar Mail Mini Vinnies, and Unlimited Play. In fact, over $40,000 in contributions were received.
I just think it's fabulous that our community really rallies around all the nonprofits in this area. Not just our charity, but all the other charities, and that they take such a grand interest in making sure that we're giving back to our community and helping those that don't maybe not have a voice.
The Mayor's Charity Ball truly helps not-for-profits in St. Charles County grow and thrive. Events like this are just one of the reasons why our county continues to be a great place to live, work, and play. And we thank everyone who attended the 2019 Mayor's Charity Ball. We appreciate all you've done for the community.
Our dedicated police force uses every tool available to help solve crimes and protect our citizens. And that includes the polygraph, which our detectives use to sort fact from fiction. Brett Fickus is here with more.
Flick through the channels on your TV, and odds are good you'll find a show about beat cops or criminal investigators, usually with a healthy dose of over-dramatized action and embellishment. One of the most sensationalized and feared bits of technology is the polygraph machine, usually shown in a dimly lit room with detectives crowding around a sweating suspect. That part might be stretching the truth a little bit to make a good TV scene, but the general idea of a machine reading your physiology and printing squiggly lines on a sheet of paper wouldn't have been far off the mark just a few years ago.
That's not too far from the truth. Polygraph did once function that way. They were the old analog systems where you'd see a piece of ink scratching on a continuous roll of paper and the examiner having to mark and make notations on that paper. That did occur once upon a time, but we're in the 21st century now and polygraphs come a long way, so it's digital now. It's recorded within a computer system where we can record data from examining electronically.
Basically, the polygraph is kind of a psychophysiological exam. So there's 3 different channels, physiological channels that we're measuring. So we're measuring breathing, measuring sweat gland activity and heart rate activity. And really what we're looking for is during certain parts of questions, we're looking for a change in baseline, a change in physiology is what we're looking for.
So is the polygraph a lie detector? Well, not exactly. As the detective said, it simply measures a physiological response to questions asked and requires a highly skilled operator to review the results from follow-up questions and investigations. And with over 12 years of experience, Lieutenant Hilke has proven to be one of those highly skilled operators. Joining him is Detective McDermott, our newest polygraph operator, who recently graduated near the top of his class at the Polygraph Examiner School in Lafayette, Indiana. While both have been extensively trained on the machine, it's actually their skills as detectives, not the polygraph itself, that make them so valuable to our department.
Polygrapher also has to be a good interviewer. When we put a qualified person running the machine that's also a good interviewer, they can review that data and see whether or not the person answering the questions is being accurate. Russ McDermott was selected because of his experience with different types of investigations and his interviewing skills. Because a polygraph is only as good as the operator. And if the person running the polygraph is not a good interviewer, it's not going to be as beneficial as you would want it to be.
Polygraph is an incredibly versatile tool for our police department, and it absolutely helps us clear cases and solve crimes. But it's actually not what we use the polygraph for the most. We'll close out this story with a look at our polygraph machine's most requested use.
So over the last 12, 13 years, I've had the privilege of being able to do polygraphs on hundreds and hundreds of potential applicants here, which has helped us keep our hiring standards high. We've been able to weed out probably some of those undesirable folks that we wouldn't want to employ here. And it's only by having the polygraph available that we've been able to weed these people out.
So it solves cases, it helps us pick the right applicants. All those things go to make the city safer and for us to employ only the best officers.
Spring is here and so are our volunteers. Let's hear from some of our volunteers who are making a difference in our community.
It's no secret that the city of O'Fallon boasts thousands of active, involved citizen volunteers. Thanks to O'Fallon's spirited volunteers, the city is able to offer more quality services, events, and programs. And there is no better time to start giving back than now. Volunteering for the city of O'Fallon is a joy, and it all starts with our award-winning Volunteer Services Program. Service to the community has real, measurable value and is more than spending 2 hours away from home on a Saturday morning. It continues even after the volunteer shift has come to an end. You won't regret volunteering for the many events O'Fallon offers throughout the year.
There are a lot of reasons to volunteer in general, but the reason why you should think about volunteering for O'Fallon is because we really do care about what we're doing, and we care about you as a volunteer. We want to make sure that you're having a good time and that all of your needs are met. We want to have all of the supplies ready for you, and we really want you to be engaged in your community.
Each spring, hundreds of volunteers come from all over the city to mulch, paint, and even clean up our creeks. Volunteering isn't one of the most plush, easy, or glamorous of jobs, but it's beneficial and uplifting. And this year, Volunteer Services teamed up with the Fort Zumwalt South Leadership class for a special community project.
We've had some involvement with the Veterans Museum, the St. Charles County Veterans Museum, and they designed and installed a creek bed, a dry creek bed, and they designed 3 different storyboard memorials to recognize Ralph Barali, the Vietnam War, and the Civil War and abolitionism.
Well, it's a good feeling. It makes you really think about how much the people that have served our country have worked, and then this is just a small piece we're giving back, but it's all we can do to really show that we see what they're doing and appreciate it.
It's amazing. I think it's just hopefully teaching them life lessons, that this is something they'll continue into their future, that they will understand the sense of community. I think that's the coolest thing that's happened this past year with the class is the City of O'Fallon and Zumwalt South's leadership classes have really formed a bond, and I think it's something that's going to continue to grow.
O'Fallon volunteers make our community a great place to live, work, and play. In fact, our volunteers are always gaining new experiences and insight. Not only are they giving back, but they're helping others. And there are several volunteering opportunities coming up.
We do have a lot of events that are coming up with the City of O'Fallon that volunteers can get involved in. Some of them are recreational, some of them are environmental. A big one that we have right around the corner is, of course, the Heritage and Freedom Festival. We have volunteers who help in our heat relief tent. They help with the shuttle so that people can get to and from the grounds, from the parking lots, and they just ensure that everybody's having a really good time when they're there.
If you want more information on volunteering in O'Fallon, you can visit our website at ofallon.mo.us.
We recently welcomed a new city administrator to O'Fallon. Let's sit down with him and find out what he has planned for our community.
At the January 24th, 2019 City Council meeting, there was a noteworthy bit of business tucked among the usual resolutions and bills. After months of diligent work, our council had wrapped up the hiring process of one of the most important open positions in the city.
Resolution 124-2019A, a resolution approving the nomination of Mike Snowden, the Department of the Office of the City Administrator of the City of O'Fallon, authorizing the execution of an employment agreement with respect thereto.
Councilmember Herwig.
Yes.
Councilmember Kling.
Yes.
Councilmember Kewen.
Yes.
After a unanimous yes vote, the council welcomed new City Administrator Michael Snowden up to the dais for his official swearing-in ceremony.
It is good to be home, and I am so proud to be part of this city again, and I can't wait to help it continue in the forward progress that it's had so far. I'm so happy to be here, so thank you.
Michael Snowden took an interesting path to his current position. With a bachelor's degree in human resource management and a master's in public administration, it's clear that he always envisioned himself in city management. A St. Charles County native, he even served his community as a member of the O'Fallon City Council, representing Ward 5. He left O'Fallon in 2013 to serve as the Executive Director of Public Safety Communications in Hamilton County, Indiana. But he never forgot his hometown, nor his dream.
I had pretty much put on the shelf the idea that I was going to become a city administrator, which is what I really wanted to be when I grew up. But when home calls and wants to know if you want to come back, you take that very seriously. And so to be able to get to this position without taking that traditional route was very intriguing to me. I see O'Fallon maturing, And what I mean by that is the days of the late or the 1990s and the 2000s in which growth was at a ridiculously expressed pace, right, in which we could barely keep up in our city with the growth that was wanting to come in. I see that as leveling off to a degree. We have less green space than we've ever had before. We have had more mature companies now. And so the way we do economic development, the way that we position ourselves to be a city of the future is just different from the past. And so the ability to come in and help guide that and shape that is very intriguing to me. It won't be the growth stages of the past, but we will continue to grow and we will position ourselves to be a wonderful community to live and work and play for the future.
The city administrator is responsible for implementing the goals and policies of the city council and for coordinating the efforts of all of the city departments that keep our city humming along. Now in his first few months on the job, Mr. Snowden has already identified the issues he'd like to focus on.
While I have wonderful plans and ideas and visions, the staff is doing a great job with that. The reality is that if we don't have the baseline services that our citizens need and want, then that great cool thing in the sky is just a thing. And so I can't wait to see the intersection of I-64 and Highway DD developed fully. It's one of the last large green spaces in our city, and so we have something that may be in the works there, and it would be fantastic if it happens. But the reality is, if the streets aren't paved and the police don't come when they're called, it just doesn't matter to our citizens. And so I can't wait to see what that looks like in the next year.
We look forward to seeing where our new city administrator takes our community in the future. One thing's for sure though, he's already impressed by the hard work city staff does every day.
Whether it's environmental services helping our citizens, whether it's police officers standing in the cold for 8 hours during a call for service. Those are the types of things that everyone needs to hear about. What a great job our folks are doing here for our citizens.
Thanks for joining us today. If you have a good story idea, let us know. You can email us at OFallonTV@ofallon.mo.us. And please remember to give back to your community, because O'Fallon matters to all of us.